I'm Jane. This is the Rainy Janery. Join me on my crafting and sewing adventures. This is the Pendleton jacket that was given to me by my stepmother. It belonged to her father. I'm not quite sure on the date of the jacket. I'm assuming it was probably 60s or 70s. I'm going to do a little bit of internet digging to see if I can date the label on the inside. It is, I think, 100% wool, but it's very thin wool. It's really nice. I'm hoping to wear this as a kind of like spring, fall, lightweight, throw over kind of jacket, or like evenings in the summer, that sort of thing. I don't think it's quite heavy enough to be a like full-on, Neville down please. I don't think it's quite heavy enough to be a full-on like winter coat. I've put this on a couple of times and tried to wear it, but it just, as you can tell, it just completely swamps me. It is made for a, 6 foot, I'm not sure. He was very tall. It was made for a very tall man, and I'm not a very tall man. I'm a very average sized woman. So a few other things that are slightly off about this, other than it being too large for me. Louise, my stepmother, had a pocket full of dog food or dog treats at one point, and her dog chewed through the back of the pocket to get to the dog treats. So there are some significant tears on the fabric on the inside of the pocket. Luckily it's the inside, so you can't tell, but I think some of my modifications will solve that problem. Also, the buttons on this are not buttons that I really love. I'm not actually sure if they're authentic. Again, I'm gonna look that up. If they are, I plan to save them and use them on a different garment, but also it's missing a button on one of the sleeves, so I really need to get a new button for it anyway. So instead of trying to source these buttons, I found some wooden buttons that I really like that I'm going to put on it instead. So, major alterations. I'm going to take it up to about mid-hip, so it'll about the middle of the pocket. Take it up to about there, which I think will solve the problem of the holes on the inside. I think I'm going to end up taking it up high enough that this will just end up being scrap fabric, which is good. I'm going to take the pockets off and keep them and relocate them slightly higher so that I still have the function of the pocket. It's just more at a useful height for me. The sleeves are really large, but actually I kind of like that. My plan is to roll them up anyway, so I would probably wear it with the sleeves cuffed like this. So I don't think the sleeves actually need any alterations. I do think this other pocket on the left side is going to, I'm just gonna, again, when I move the pockets up, I'm just gonna take this one off and sew it slightly higher, just so the whole thing looks more in proportion. And then lastly, I'm gonna do some research before I decide to pull the trigger on this, but I have another vintagey jacket that has a sort of a gathered placket at the back. And I really like the way that that just tailors the jacket into my body slightly more. So I'm considering taking a lot of this bulk out of the back and putting in, using some of this extra fabric that's cut off the bottom and making a little placket at the back, either with gathers or take some darts out of it and then put that kind of placket over the top of it to give it kind of more of like a walking jacket, Yorkshire jacket kind of look. Also, I think there's another, I can't find it, but there's another little hole in here somewhere, but again, I'll have extra scrap fabric left from cutting it off on the bottom, and that can get used to make a patch for the hole. I just can't find it at the moment. I'm not sure where it is. So we will see. I will keep you updated as I go, but yeah, I'm super excited to have this be more wearable and more functional in my wardrobe. You ready? You were a good pup. You were a good pup.